Do you ever find yourself staring at a blank screen, wondering what the heck you're going to post on social media or maybe even your blog for that matter? Maybe you're completely overwhelmed by all of the content that you could or should be creating, but you have no idea where to start. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to plan and create content that grabs attention, drives results, without feeling like you're constantly playing catch up. Sound good? Let's get into it. What's up, girlfriend? And welcome back to the Efficiency Boutique channel, where I help one-woman CEOs build debt-free, profitable, efficient businesses. So today we are diving into content marketing and how to create a consistent posting schedule that will drive results for your business. And as we go through this lesson and video, I want you to keep in mind that the biggest word and most important word is consistent. That is going to be the catalyst for success with posting and with content marketing. So first of all, let's just start with the basics, right? Of what content marketing is, why you need to do it. First of all, it basically is the first step of how clients will find you, most likely. And it is also how you will eventually build trust to turn these potential leads into paying clients. So let's just start with the basics, right? When you regularly share valuable content, you're essentially showing up for your audience, right? Each blog post, each social media update, or video that you create is an opportunity for you to provide value, share your expertise, and help solve your audience's problems. And not to mention the fact that it also, if you're posting consistently and putting out content consistently, you're showing your potential customers that you are still in business and you are still active and you are still doing your thing, right? So think of it like this, right? So trust is built over time, right? Most clients are not going to see one post and pay for your services. They are not. If it does happen sometimes, but most of the time that will not be happening, right? So trust is built over time through repeated positive interactions. So by consistently providing useful information, you're positioning yourself as a reliable source that your audience can count on. And of course, when people trust you, they are more likely to become loyal clients, right? So Another reason why content is so powerful, because I mentioned this, is it's how people find you to begin with, right? So I have an acronym called FAITH, and it basically is the whole client journey from beginning to end. So F is find. Clients need to find you, right? So how do clients find you? Your website, your Instagram, your Facebook profiles, your Google business page, your blog posts, Pinterest, which maybe drives people to your blog post, or YouTube videos like this here, all of that. So it is so important to be able to create consistent content so people can first of all find you in order for you to start to build that relationship with them that will hopefully turn them into paying clients. So imagine someone searching online for a solution to a problem that you can solve, right? If you have a blog post, a video like this, a social media post that addresses that exact problem, they're more likely to discover your business because they are already searching for a solution to that problem, right? So, good content is just the lighthouse that brings people in, right? So it's it is that shining light that draws people in from the darkness, right? If they are struggling with something, you can show them the light. So it helps you show up in search results. You get maybe people will share your content on social media and ultimately even reach new audiences by doing that as well, that may not have even heard of you otherwise. So there are so many benefits to this. And hopefully in this video, we can get to how you do it so you aren't paralyzed. And here is a powerful stat for you too, right? So like brands that maintain consistent, again, that key word, consistent. Brands that maintain consistent content marketing have conversion rates that are nearly 6 times higher than those that do not. So again, it's because consistent content builds credibility. When people see that you are regularly sharing helpful information, they start to see you as an authority in your field, and then that makes them more comfortable investing in you, your products, and your services. In your team, if you have a team also, you are building that trust and that relationship with these clients. So if you've been struggling to build trust with your audience or aren't sure why your marketing efforts aren't converting, like, we need to take a closer look at your content strategy. Are you showing up consistently for your audience with valuable, relevant information? Then if not, that might be the missing piece. So consistency, which will bring me into the next point. Consistent. Do not set these crazy high expectations for yourself that you cannot do. So for instance, when I first started posting social media, I was posting twice a week, and we like to call this the proof of life strategy. Again, if people find your profile somehow, are you posting at least once a week so they know that you are still active, that you are still in business, and all of that good stuff, right? So do not set unrealistic expectations for yourself if you cannot hold to those standards. Consistency is key. So figuring out how often you have time to post on social media, how often you can like write a blog post for your website if you have one. I was at a point where I was doing like every other Thursday, and I got to a point where I was like, I can't do it anymore, so I dropped it back. I'm doing once a month now, and that's fine, but it's consistent, because then when it was too much, I didn't do any of it. And then email newsletters, if you have an email newsletter list. What is going to be a reasonable amount of time that you can put into these newsletters where you will consistently show up for the people that are subscribed to your newsletter list? Is it once a month, every other week, once a week? You just multiple times a week? I don't know. Like, you have to decide that. So now that you kind of know what content marketing is and why it matters, let's dive into the steps that you can take to create the plan. So the first step is going to be how often you're going to post, how often you're going to send an email newsletter out, how often you're going to create a blog post. So if you are doing those 3 things, that's what we need to figure out. Or if you just want to start with social media, how often are you going to post? Okay, now after we figure out how often, the next step will be to figure out the type of content that you're going to post. One of the things that I've found is that everything can be content. So, like, literally everything. Because again, the whole point of putting content out is, for one, for people to find you, and 2, so people can get to know you and trust you. And you do that by sharing personal stories, and also sharing your expertise about the field that you are in. Now, when I tell you that everything is content, I will tell you this. The reason I say that is because I literally was talking about in Instagram stories, I was talking about how my fiance makes fun of me because of how much deodorant I put on in the morning. And I was talking about it, and I was like making a joke because like I put a lot of deodorant on. And in the story, I was like, I did a poll and I was like, are you like a one swipe gal? Or are you like, or do you put a lot on like I do or something like that? And let me tell you, like, I have people, that was the most like engaging thing. Like, I had people that were like, oh my God, I'm cracking up. I had people responding to the post. I had people like giving me suggestions on like how not to put so much on. And then I even have people like coming back to me months, like maybe it's been a year now, like months later, that are still like, every time I put deodorant on, I think of you. So like, and then they say that's where you start to get like clients and interactions and all of that other good stuff. So when I say content, everything can be content, like literally everything can be content. It's just a matter of like what you're comfortable with sharing. So when we talk about content and talking about what you can post or talk about in a blog post, in a newsletter, anything like that, broadly and generally, you want to think of like, you want to have broad content pillars. So for instance, like if you're writing an email newsletter, what are your like broad categories going to be that you talk about, that you can rotate through? If you are going to post on social media, like what kinds of things, what kinds of topics can you talk about on social media? I'm going to give you a few right now. So a few for as an example. Again, these are like broad topics to kind of just give you ideas and to brainstorm. So for instance, social media topics. You want to share things about yourself. You want to share tips or like benefits about your services to show your expertise. You want to talk about the benefits of using your services rather than just saying this is what we offer. You want to talk more about like why somebody would want to hire you and the outcome that they can get from your service. You may also want to just do like a funny, like me, one of the things that I always remember to do is like, I'm just going to share like a funny meme or a funny like quote or something like that. Again, like to try and get engagement and everything too. So those are just some like broad categories that you can talk about to kind of keep you on track for when you're going to post. The next step is creating a content calendar. So you want to take into account how often you're going to post and those broad content pillars, right? And what you want to do is cycle through them. So if you're only going to post once a month, then if you have 4 content pillars, you have 1 per week and you just rotate through them, and that'll keep you on track that way. Like this is the bare minimum to get you started, right? Like this is just like, if I have nothing or I have no idea where to start with posting and what the heck I'm going to say, this is how you start and this is how you stay consistent. You use these content pillars and you map it all out. Creating this content plan like in advance, having the same like cadence and flow, it'll just keep you on track. It'll keep you focused and keep you consistent. Again, consistency is the big key word here. So that's what we want to aim for. And again, like creating the content calendar, maybe on your content calendar, you say, okay, I'm going to do a static post this time. Then it'll be a carousel for Instagram. Then it'll be a reel. Or maybe you just do all static posts, and then you, like me, I change it up. I don't have like a certain cadence. I don't get that minute with choosing like what I'm going to do. I just know that this week is going to be, I'm going to talk about this topic, and this one is about this topic or content pillar. So those are just some ideas on how to get you started quickly with being consistent. All right, so let's recap what we went over. So, first, we went over what content marketing is and why it's important. And that is because you want to have a way that people can find you and know that you're still in business. And you also want to be able to build trust with your audience. Next step is figuring out how often you're going to post in order to stay consistent. After you figure out how often you're going to post, then you will come up with your content pillars to keep you consistent. Then you will create a content plan where you take your content pillars and just kind of recycle those and go through and come up with a cadence on your posting plan or your email newsletter plan or your blog post plan. The same concept goes for whether you're posting on social, sending an email newsletter, or writing a blog post. Right, so if you are ready to step up your content game and build trust with your audience, I have a free resource for you because I'm not going to leave you hanging. So I have created a free resource template and instructional video for you on how you can create an email newsletter marketing plan using ChatGPT. Now, it is a full prompt that you can basically create a whole content plan for a month, 3 months, like however far out you want to go, and actually have it write out all of the subject lines, the email newsletter itself, all of that. Now, you can also tweak the prompt to be specific for blog posts and also Instagram posts. And again, as a caveat, ChatGPT, you use it if you have a brain fart or if you don't know what to say and you need some inspiration, right? So you use it, you get ideas, and you tweak it to your own voice. You tweak it to whatever pertains to your own industry, to your own thoughts, your own beliefs, all of that. I have that in the link below. So feel free, download that, get started. And if you want to take it a step further, you can join the Efficiency Lounge today, where I provide customizable templates and tools to help you plan, create, and distribute content effortlessly. So, girlfriend, that is a wrap. Go get your content game on and show the world what you've got. I will see you next time.